Hi guys, can you hear me? If you can post it in the question window saying yes. All right, I received a couple of answers that you can hear me. So let's start with our webinar today, the Qlikview, what's your business question? My name is Abhishek Agrawal and today I'm your presenter here for walking you through with this webinar Qlikview. So let's quickly see the agenda. The agenda for today is we'll go a little bit into the brief history of Qlikview. We will see how it is originated and a couple of other things. Why Qlikview as compared to other BI tools? We will just look at a brief comparison with the other industry standard tools. We will look into career opportunities with Qlikview just to give you an idea what are the currently available opportunities you have with Qlikview. Advantages of using Qlikview. We will look at a couple of inbuilt its memory technology and a couple of features that it provides, which is its core advantage for using it. Understanding how companies are adopting Qlikview, we will look at the pattern which Qlikview has seen, and then on hands-on example, we will look into one of the example, which is one of the pre-built dashboard, which comes with Qlikview. Even you can explore it once you download the Qlikview. And finally, we will have the question and answer session. All right, so let's begin with the brief history of Qlikview. So if you can see this, Qlikview was founded in Sweden in 1993 by Björn Berg. So they were a group of guys who originally started with as a consultancy, and they originally gave this tool name as Qlikview, which means a quality, understanding, interaction, and knowledge. So once they moved on with developing the product, and their main intention was while designing the product that it should mimic the way the brain works. So with that, they basically hired a couple of guys who started working on this, and they initially wrote this Qlikview program into Excel. Yeah, you may be surprised by seeing that, but yes, initially it was written in Excel using a lot of VLOOKUPs, which was looking up the data based on the selections or based on the values that was getting entered into the respective cell. But that is quite an history. Now you have a full-fledged Qlikview tool. So and now the customer base has reached to 24,000. I think it is even more than that today. The recent stats I have is somewhere around 30,000, and that is spread across around 100 countries and employs over 1,000 people worldwide. And this market capitalization is somewhere around 2.5 billion. So it's a major global company having the presence across 100 countries, and its offices are also in more than 25 different countries, and they are counting the new customers and new offices location. So why Qlikview? In this section, we will look into the patented in-memory technology, what it is. If you have surfed on the internet about the Qlikview, and then you must have came across this term in-memory technology. So we will look at a very high level what in-memory technology is, and we will see how it works. Maybe I'm not in a position to show you its background architecture, how it works, but I will try to give you a thought which you can visualize to understand how its in-memory technology works. Faster BI solution development. So it's quite faster when you compare it to the other tools. We will look into it, how it does it. It's an infographic that I'll be showing you. Complete suite of reporting and analytics. That is what R&A means. So that means right from data integration to data modeling till presentation. So we will look into this, and at the end of the session I will give you a quick demo where I will be showing you not only you can present a dynamic presentation which requires Qlikview as a tool, but also you can create static reports which you usually need to give to your senior management, or sometimes as a decks or the presentations to your management. And finally, we'll see associative user experience. So what it means, you must have also came across to this term, what is associative user experience. So we'll look into it. And with the help of an example, I will try to show you what it means. All right. So before I begin with the first point, which is patented in memory technology, I would like to mention that while I'll be showing you the visuals and the different slides, I will be switching to Qlikview as a tool to give you a better idea about it. So I will be flipping between presentation and the Qlikview software. Okay. So let's move on to this patented in-memory technology. So that's a simple infographic I was able to come up with to show you what it means by in-memory technology. So if you have surfed the internet, the in-memory technology is that it takes all of the data which you are giving it via different sources, for example, Excel or databases or maybe some other custom sources. It takes all that data, does all that calculation, as it has a lot of great scripting capabilities, and then finally load all of that thing into the memory. And then all the magic in the front end happens into the memory. That's where all the associative user experience or the selection via which all the charts and updates, chart and metrics updates, all these things happens in the memory. That's why its RAM consumption is really high. So it's always advisable to have as much RAM as you can in your system if you are working on a very large databases on a very large application, because everything is happening over here. So to give you just a thought about how an in-memory technology works, I will just go back to or flip to the Qlikview application that I have. Here I am showing movie database. So let's go to the dashboard what I have. So here I have all of the data already loaded. How it is loaded? The data is loaded via the edit script into the Qlikview. So if you have seen it, here is the way via which you can go into edit script. So once you click it, you basically see all of the data or all of the tables that you have loaded either via XLS or via databases. It has all these different kind of capabilities, and I will show you that once I get onto that page or to that slide. So all that thing happens over here. All this calculation that you are seeing, which I was mentioning into that calculation area on that blackboard side, that every calculation happens over here. Once you load this basically loads entire data into the Qlikview engine, and Qlikview engine takes the data from the RAM or all of the memory of the RAM to do all of the calculation here in the front end. So if I do any of the selection, whatever selection I have done based on the chart and metrics, everything is updated. It is updated very fast because it is happening with the help of the RAM. As you are aware, if you are using disk as your space to fetch all of the data for calculation as compared to RAM, it will be slow. But when you use RAM to store all of your data and then to fetch it as per your requirement, it will become fast. And that's why Qlikview pioneer on this term in-memory technology, because it has provided this capabilities where whatever selection we are trying to do here, all of this calculation is happening at the back end for these respective charts and metrics. Okay. So that's what I really mean by an in-memory technology, that all of these calculations after the data load happens into the memory, and memory is nothing but the RAM memory of your system, and that's why Qlikview is able to respond very fast to all of your selection. Okay, I'll go back to the slide. So after in-memory technology, I have faster BI solutions development. So if you have seen any of the IT deployment, any of the BI deployment, it is always via the IT route. where IT takes a role of suggesting the tool, making sure that tool is adhering to all of the policies. It basically pushes the management to implement this tool into the organization, and then basically they take all of the management and the development of the reports and dashboards into their hands. And that's where the most of the problem comes, where the cycles becomes very large, the implementation cycle becomes very large, and the end user really have to wait a lot to basically get a simple change into the report, or to add a new report into its existing package. So because of that, earlier the BI solution development was a bit lengthy process, where you have to go through IT to do any of the small change or new development. But when it comes to the Qlikview side of the fence, you basically so Qlikview basically gives this tool in the hands of the analysts or the business analysts who are actually working with the who is actually working with a business. Now, because Qlikview is a free to use for a limited period, or for the limited period of limited number of documents, they basically gives you all the power in your hand. And because it's scripting and writing the formula is very much similar to your SQL or Excel, that's why it becomes very easy for an analyst to quickly grasp an understanding about this tool. So in this case, when the tools comes into the hand of an analyst, it they basically quickly generate the reports and dashboards and give it to their end users. Even if there is any change, as they will be in direct calls or they will be in direct touch with those guys, any implementation of new change or addition of the new feature is comparatively very fast. So that's where IT comes, but it comes very late into the picture when all of your dashboards are familiarized. You need to roll out the dashboard. Then obviously you need to take IT role for doing the data preparation and governance kind of work, as it is mentioned over here. But you as an analyst or as an person who is working with the business or with the client directly, you have all of the power of report and dashboard development in your hand, and that's why you are able to give you the faster solution to your stakeholders. So this picture talks a lot, but that's bit in a nutshell, which I have explained you, that it can take any of the data source which is mentioned over here and quickly creates analysis by directly working with the business. Once you have your dashboards and reports ready, you can take IT help for rolling out that dashboard for the major group of, or for the organization-wide users. So as they are saying over here, for business users who is actually an end user, it's a self-service analysis. They can create their relevant analysis on the fly. It is a feature given on the Qlikview server that if the end user need to create some kind of custom metric of their own, if they are aware about the feature, they can create it and they can do their change analysis on the fly. So for this, I do not have anything to show it in the Qlikview, as it is more of a theoretical concept. That's why I've tried to give you an idea why solution development in Qlikview is comparatively faster as compared to the traditional tools. So major role of IT is reduced and you are directly working with the user. IT comes into picture only when you need to roll out the dashboards and reports. So let's see this complete suite of R&A. And after that, I will take a couple of questions. I know you may be having some questions, so I just don't want to rush through all the slides and take each and every question in the end. So let's quickly see this slide and then let's take a couple of questions. So be ready with your question. So complete suite of R&A, reporting and analytics. So what it means that it has different kind of layers. So first one is the data layer, where you can fetch the data from almost all of the different kind of data sources which is available today. Even if it is not available, then you can write your own script, or that obviously you need to have a pro or professional into this by understanding its scripting guidelines and everything about how to write that custom data modules, but you can get that data into the Qlikview. Then you are basically loading the component, the data into in its memory, which is via the load script. So I have shown you that script. Let me quickly go back and show you the edit script section. So here is the edit script, which is being taken care over here. So here basically we are loading the script by hitting this load button, and then it comes to the unaggregated data into the RAM, or it can be aggregated based on your the way you are writing the script. We will look into it how you can write unaggregated or aggregated data when you will actually come into the class and see how things are happening via the different types of scripting. And then associative search engine comes into existence because the data is in memory, all of the data is related, and it started producing the result via the aggregation engine and presentation engine. So these are the different components which is working together to basically roll out the presentation to these different kinds of devices, whether it is a system or whether it is iPad, iPhone or Android, or it is a PDF. As I mentioned earlier at the start of the presentation, even you can have a PDF because that is something used by your management. So overall, at a high level, that's how I have bifurcated all of these details. So first one is integration of the data, second one is modeling, data modeling and data presentation, and final is the presentation. So this is how the from a high level overall Qlikview architecture work. And at every place, at every part of this architecture, this security layer is present, which is very robust here, and it provides a lot of features about how you want to go ahead with the security, whether at a user level you want to provide username, password, or you want to have some kind of security based on the user logging in from a particular geographical location or from a particular business unit. All the different kind of permutation combination you can have within your Qlikview script. Yes, we write a Qlikview script, security script within the Qlikview, the same edit script section which I showed you earlier, and that's where you specify what kind of permutation combination you need across the architecture so that right data is delivered to the right user. Okay, so so with this, I will take a couple of questions over here. Just bear with me. I'm just reading questions for you. All right. So the first thing is about sharing the screen. So that's quite embarrassing. It should be showing my screen. Let me quickly go back to stop sharing and share it back. Guys, can you see my screen now? Can anybody respond? All right. I really apologize for this. I was under impression that I'm sharing the screen and I was getting the status also that's sharing. But anyways, I will take a couple of other questions which is over here. Right. How to write MDX to fetch data or doing some calculation in Qlikview? Amit Ghotigar is asking that question. So Amit, MDX queries is something in a bit different way. It is pretty much straightforward in Qlikview. We have these technology in Qlikview where you can write your own small script which works as a small cubes, and then once you load the data, it puts all of that data into the engine, and then you can fetch it into the front end. And in the front end, you do all of that calculation within the charts or into the metrics. I hope that answers your question. So the next question is Tableau versus Qlikview versus R. So Noor Ahmed is asking. So it's basically asking me to do a comparison, which is pretty big question, but I'll try to summarize. It depends on what kind of solution you are building. So Tableau and Qlikview somehow provide a similar kind of functionality where it provides a great way of putting your dashboards and reports in front of your users in a way that it is telling a story, as compared to R, where R is majorly used by statisticians for doing their statistical analysis. R has a capability of doing the or creating the graphics and reports, but it is not as good as compared to Qlikview and Tableau. Now let's go to Qlikview and Tableau. The major comparison, or the major thing which I find different between these two tools is Qlikview has a very good and robust scripting technology, which you can think of as a ETL, where you can write your script, extract the data and massage the data in your way. Whereas in Tableau, you simply load the data and start doing the visualization. That's a high level answer I can give it to you for while I compare these tools. So how can this be compared against SAS and Tableau? Sheikh Ibrahim has asked this question. So Sheikh, I think I have just explained, even SAS is a statistical analysis system. It's used mainly for doing the statistical analysis or research in the statistical analysis area. So, but not a very good tool for doing the presentation. The next question is from Deba Pita Das. To load data from sources other than those mentioned one in the slides, the code has to be written in which language? So, to write a scripting, Qlikview has their own scripting language, which it comes when you write a custom components or a custom scripting. Uh, it's not it has a particular kind of language which they have used, but you can think it's more like a VB script or a JavaScript kind of a language if you have seen or if you have worked on. That is pretty much similar to that, but they have their own language for doing that. They have not given any name. It's more of a custom component scripting language, what we say. All right. Next is, can we connect different sources of data? It means SAP and Oracle at the same time or in a single connection. So your second part is right, in a single connection, but how? That here in Qlikview, if you are able to see my screen, we have this database connectivity via different kind of ODBC, OLADB connection. You can connect the data with one of its source. Say for example, here you are connected with the Oracle data. But right after this, if you are connecting with the SAP data, then your connection will be stopped over here, right at the semicolon, and the SAP data will, or SAP data connection will come into the picture. So, the answer for your question is yes and no. Yes, because you have the flexibility of specifying multiple connections, but only one connection is active at a time. I hope it answers your question. An API info to be accessed for the same. Mm, I really can't understand this. I think you are asking something related to whether there is a Twitter API and all. If that is the case, I have not seen anything in that such that it can be accessed via can access API kind of a thing. But yes, there are development going on if there is any kind of development, but I'm not aware about that. The next one is, do we need any coding language knowledge? So yes, I think if you are aware about SQL or SQL language in any of the platform, whether it is SQL Server or whether it is Oracle, it is really, really helpful because it is very much similar to it. It's a little bit different, but very much similar to how SQL works. So for example, here I'm saying load distinct the field name from table name. It's similar to select column from table name, which is there in SQL. Hope an answer. So how to access Qlikview sheet or dashboard in web application? So in web application, it gives Qlikview provides you the components which you can use, which is an ActiveX component, which you can use to include the Qlikview application, but it can happen only via its server. So you have to have a server where you have published the application, and then you can use it via the link which server produce, and then you need to have an ActiveX component which is related to uh, Qlikview end user view, and that needs to be installed in your system. So is it possible to integrate data from legacy system like mainframes? So mainframe systems, connecting data from mainframe system um, is something which is I have not seen whether we are doing that. Uh, Generally, how we have seen it that we are extracting the data from the mainframe in the form of a CSV files and all, and then putting it there in the Qlikview for using it. But direct connection to the mainframe, that is something I have never seen into the Qlikview. So the next question is, if we create a single dashboard with two different sources, can't we do it? Because in Tableau it's possible, but here also it is possible. Like I mentioned, if you are having two different sources, like one table is coming from Oracle, another table is coming from SAP, yes, you can have both of those sources, but when it comes to understanding the technical part, that only one connection is active in the back end of the script when it is loading the data. But when it comes to the presentation, both tables, whether it is from Oracle or from Qlikview or from SAP, will be available to you. So I think these are the questions I had. I think I have given my answers and the honest opinions about something which is possible and I have seen, and something which is not possible and I have not seen. Hope this has answered your question. So let's go back to our presentation and see the stuff which is remaining. The next thing I have is associative user experience. This I have shown with the help of an example. So before I move on, I want to again confirm that you can see my screen, right? Perfect. I got an answer from the Devapita task that screen is there and you are able to see it. All right, so reports, associative user experience I was talking about, and here is one example from our legacy systems like business objects or other dashboarding tools, where you need to specify a hierarchy at the start for your end users. So if an end user need to select a salesperson, they first need to go in to select the region and then the state. Say for example, region is India, state is Maharashtra. The product that you are selling is suppose electronics, and then only you can select the salesperson who is there for selling this electronics product. But there was no way that you can directly select a salesperson for for understanding how it is related to different part. But here in Qlikview, you can go in any direction. You can directly select a salesperson and salesperson related data will be displayed to you. So for example, you're selecting salesperson X who is related to India, then region will reflect as India, its a state. If salesperson is active in one state like Maharashtra, then only Maharashtra will be appear. if salesperson is active in two or multiple states, then multiple states information will reflect. And finally, the product information. If salesperson is doing a sales of electronics product, then electronic products information will be presented. So in this way, you can go into anything. You can select electronic products and you can see who are all the salesperson who is doing the electronics sales. And that's where this thing comes, that Qlikview works like your mind. Like your mind can ask any question. They can simply ask, in Maharashtra, what are all the products that we are selling? So you simply select Maharashtra and all of its product information and the salesperson information comes directly to you, and you are able to understand, okay, these are all the guys who are working, and this is the products that they are selling in Maharashtra region. So to show you how it is happening, let's go back to our Qlikview application and see it. So I will just remove this script. I will click clear, which will clear my filters. So here I have the movie director, I have the director filter, I have the actor filter, and I have the title filter. Now, in case of a traditional system, like here, traditional OLAP system, I need to first select the director. Like I'm selecting Abel, and then I need to select all the actors who have worked with that director. Say for example, we are selecting Erica, and then we can see King of New York is the movie which Erica has done under the direction of Abel. But that's not the case with Qlikview. That's the case with a traditional system. That's the example I've designed for you in Qlikview. In case of the Qlikview model, let's go back to dashboard. I can simply select any of the movie from this title filter, like Three Godfathers. And you can see here are all the actors who have worked in the Three Godfathers movie. And here is the director information about that movie. And here, all this charting and everything is being updated for that movie. Now, my next question is, uh, John Wayne is worked into this movie. Let's click on John Wayne and let's click again on Three Godfather. Now what it is giving me an indication that I want to ask, what are all the movies and who are all the directors with whom John Wayne has worked? And that's where my information, these are all the directors with which John Wayne has worked, and these are the movies which John Wayne has done. So that simply depends on what kind of question you want to ask based on the data which is in front of you. And that's where your intuition comes into the picture, when you keep on asking the question and keep on digging on the problem, and then you finally figure out a hidden pattern or a hidden information, because your mind is working in that direction and you are getting the answer right in front of your screen. So that's how the associative user experience works. So let's go back to the presentation, and that's what I think I sufficiently covered this associative user experience. Now let's go to this major companies who are using Qlikview. So here are just a couple of examples, very few examples, and the intention to show you over here is that Qlikview is being adopted by many big companies, whether it is a banking conglomerate like HSBC, consulting companies like Infosys or TCS, or whether it is companies who is into manufacturing like Mahindra, or whether it is a well-known name to everyone, Flipkart. They use Qlikview as their trusted tool for doing the reporting and analytics work and to design the business intelligence solutions. Next is salary trends. Just to give you a high level information about the salary trends into the Qlikview. If you can see from the bar, it is clearly visible that the Qlikview is definitely Qlikview developers or Click guys who understand Qlikview, working as a Qlikview consultant, gets the maximum salary as compared to its related technologies like Tableau and all. And its source of this information is Indeed. You can go to Indeed.com and run that query about jobs payment by technology tool or Qlikview job pay categories, kind of a search query, and then you can get that chart into the Indeed.com. Next is job trends. So this is the job trends that I prepared on the 16th of August, and at that time, the picture was that the most of the openings were in Bengaluru, and then the Delhi or NCR comes, then Mumbai, Chennai, and finally Gurgaon. Gurgaon is relatively part of Delhi NCR, so you can club it one, and then you can see over 100 plus openings are out there. But overall, if you will count this, there are like 400 plus openings out there in Qlikview. The companies who are hiring into the Qlikview developer or a Qlikview consultant, and honestly, they are not matching up with the demand for all of the openings that they have. So the tool is going with a fast pace, but definitely there is a lack of talent over there in the market. So that's why I think understanding Qlikview, understanding how it works, what opportunity it has, it's a good thing to adopt as a career advancement, being the hottest technology out there in the market today. All right. So advantages of using Qlikview. Uh, all right, it's moving here back and forth. Okay. Advantages of using Qlikview. So it's a down-top approach of development instead of top-down. In a very simple way, I can say that top-down approaches that management is pushing something and you are adopting it and you are working on it, that has worked or probably not worked so much good in the past. But here is a down top approach where an analyst install the Qlikview system and then give a reports back to management or a finding or a discovery to the management, and that's how management gives an approval that yes, go ahead with this tool. And that's why it is an analyst and business friendly approach of Qlikview, because you analyst or a business user can download and install Qlikview and start preparing its reports and dashboards. Faster development and change management. I explained it earlier about the faster development and change management because you are directly working with your end user. You are a Qlikview developer who understand it and directly working with the end user, and where there is a very less and minimum interference of the IT department because of all that their change management policies and stuff. You are able to do faster development and faster change management. Self-service BI for end users, because it has the capabilities of providing the custom solutions to the self-service to the end users, where they can create their own metrics for their on-the-fly questions. Minimal previous IT knowledge to start working on Qlikview. Yes, it is very much true. One of the questions being asked is what kind of knowledge I should have to start working with Qlikview. I would say if you have a good understanding of the SQL, the structured query language on any of the platform, whether Oracle, whether PLC, whether SQL Server or anything, it's perfectly fine. You should know the basic SQL. You should know how to put the formula in Excel, and bam, you can start working with Qlikview. Nobody can really stop this, at least to start work with it. But as you move on, definitely you come across the different terminologies, different kind of problems, and that's where you start gaining more and more expertise into the what it really needs to go to become an expert into the Qlikview. But yeah, from a starting perspective, SQL and Excel is uh, your background knowledge that you should have. Data integration, ETL, and presentation in one tool. So data integration and ETL in one tool, that's what I have explained earlier in one of the slides, that you can integrate the data from multiple sources. ETL can be done via the script, which is very similar to SQL. All of those joins and everything are in there into this scripting that you can do. And then finally the presentation into the final onto the output layer. And last one is efficient multi-layer application development. That's an advanced topic. That means that your ETL is happening in one layer, your presentation is happening is in another layer. So you have around 2 or sometimes even 3 different Qlikview application just to manage one big project. So that's where it becomes a very efficient multi-layer application development, where all of your data integration, ETL, and presentations are happening within Qlikview, but with the multi-layer application development. So let's move on to the next slide, which is ways companies adopting Qlikview. Uh, it's again similar to my first point in the last slide, which was down-top approach of development instead of top-down. It's a similar kind of thing. It's a down-to-top approach of adoption. Companies are first companies analysts or company business users are adopting it, and then they are creating some views, some kind of dashboards for them, and then finally giving it to your department. Once department adopts it, then other department sees the value of the Qlikview that it is giving to the department, and then finally the entire company is adopting. This has been a trend which Qlikview has seen. ClickTech as a company has seen that how companies are adopting, and that's how they were able to come up with this infographic that this is the way companies adopting, and they suggest that this should be the way because it's the only the business analysts or the business users who really understand what business context they have, what kind of questions they are asking. If they have the power of Qlikview in their hand, and if Qlikview is giving them the quick answers like I showed you earlier in case of a movie database, then it becomes really a handy tool, and other departments get to know about it, and soon the entire company adopts Qlikview as one unified solution for their entire company. So that's how the company is adopting Qlikview. All right, here we come with the most interesting part, which is a demo. So before I start a demo, let's take quick questions that I may have here in this question panel. All right. So one question from Amit Kotikar. What is QVD file? So QVD stands for Qlikview document file. It is basically a Qlikview data file. I apologize, it's a Qlikview data file. So Qlikview data file is nothing but an when you load the data is converted into a format which Qlikview can understand, and Qlikview understand QVD format, which is a Qlikview data format. It has its compression algorithm and a couple of features into this document format where it compresses the data. For example, if you are uploading 100 MB of data from your data source, based on the cardinality of the data is reduced to almost around the 90%. So if it is 100 MB data, that will be reduced to somewhere around 20-25 MB or even less than that, based on again the cardinality of the data, the level of cardinality it has. So Qlikview data file is basically a preferred way Qlikview understand the data. You can only create QVD or Qlikview data file from Qlikview scripting itself in the back end. In the front end, there is a way by which you can create it, but the most preferred way is from the back end of this of the data where you are writing the scripting. I hope this answers the question. All right, so there is no more questions. So let me go back and all right, somebody just asked another question. Sumant P. Why we prefer Qlikview instead of Tableau, where Tableau is very good in visualization? Yes, Tableau is very good in visualization. There is no doubt about it. But Sumant, and to all of you guys, even Qlikview is very much capable of providing all of those visualization which Tableau provides. Tableau has been promoted as a most impressive or most advanced data visualization tool, whereas Qlikview give you a complete suite of a business intelligence solution or business discovery solution as what ClickTech claims. What it means, you can not only produce the visualization which you can produce in any of the tool like Tableau and all, but you also have the ETL, you also have the data massaging, you also have the data modeling features and everything which is missing out there into the Tableau. Tableau is definitely gaining on it. I have seen that Tableau is coming up, or probably they may have come up with the scripting and all, but so far that has been the major point uh, as a negative point for Tableau. But yes, I agree. Tableau has very good visualization, but Qlikview is no more less than that. Sometimes even it has more features based on the properties and all of the different options that it provides. I mean, once you will go through all of the things, all of the charts and everything that we prepare and we show, it produces very good visualization. All right, so let's quickly go to the demo and it see the Qlikview in action with a little bit about its features and all. So I have shown you this application which is a movie database, and I showed you how you can have a associative experience and all. So in this demo section, I will just walk you through about a very high level how Qlikview looks and different components of Qlikview. So this is the front end of Qlikview which you are seeing, and it has different sheets like dashboard, analysis, has Qlikview model, it has traditional OLAP model. All of these different tabs are called sheets, and all of these sheets are there in this one document. So all of these collection of sheets are present in document, and we call it a Qlikview document. Like we will call it movie database.qvw as a movie database document, Qlikview document. All right. So in these sheets, you can produce infographics and all the different kinds of charts and metrics. You can have a text and all of this kind of information, or whether images, you can import that also. So your presentation layer is this. In the back end, you have the edit script. In the edit script, you have the option of loading data from multiple sources. Like here we are using that inline load option. That's nothing but you specify the data inside into a table which is present into this scripting, which is over here inside load statement, load inline. There you specify the data in columns and that gets created. This is basically a custom table for our special needs and all. We will learn more about this, why we really need these kind of tables apart from our normal data sources. Apart from that, we have it from the XLS uh, file which is in Excel format. Apart from this, if I click over here, table files, and suppose if I select any of the one, then you can see over here it can understand the data from different formats, whether it is Excel, HTML, QVD, Qlikview data file, XML, and QVX. QVX is a component that you write in case of a custom data component or custom data that you have for you for your document. So apart from this, you can also import another Qlikview file. That feature is called as binary load. We will look into it when we will move into the class. Web file to fetch the data from the web. Field data, the data which is there on the custom field, like from internet file or from a local file which is there, you can fetch it. Apart from databases, you have ODBC, OLADB. You have other custom components to access data from SAP system. There is a SAP connector that you can use, that you can, I think, purchase. You need to purchase it from the Qlikview, and then you can use it. I think it is not freely available, but it can be double checked. Salesforce is definitely free. If you have a Salesforce system in your company and you want to access the Salesforce data, then you can download the Salesforce component, data access component from Qlikview site, and there are a couple of others which is in there. Apart from that, in today's world, there are major technologies like Hadoop and all. For that, I think there is a Java-based database connector, JDBC connector, There is a very good documentation on Qlikview community about how to connect your Hadoop and all these modern big databases from your Qlikview system. So that's about your different kinds of data sources with which you can connect. And here you can see it has different kinds of tables which is loading. It has some predefined features, like blue is mentioned as keyword. This text which is written in red is basically a field name. Way you specify the table name like this by specifying the name and the colon. All of these things we will look into detail and we will move into the class, but that's how you see it. If you want to know how the data is modeled, you need to press Control T and it shows you a model which is being created. If you can see, all of these different tables are automatically connected, and it is connected based on the same name, that same column name that you have in different table. So for example, film count has film ID, as well as actors has film ID, and probably directors has film ID, like over here, film ID, film ID. So you don't have to really specify any kind of join or anything. Qlikview automatically does all of this thing for you, joining and all. But we have to take sometimes precautions because of if multiple fields are there which is of similar name, it may create redundancy into the data, and that's the kind of scenario we have to carefully look and resolve it. There are different ways to resolve it, and we will look that into our course. So that's about the Qlikview scripting and Qlikview data model viewer, how you can view it. Now the next thing is the variables. So to show you the variables, and probably before I show you, I think all of you are must be aware of what variables are. So they are basically placeholders, contains the values, and they can be used to produce some kind of dynamic nature into your charts or metrics. And Qlikview has its variable overview window in which you can create uh, the variables. So variable name over here is specified as v language, and you can see either you can specify a function. So that is something, it is taking language as a value, that in which language you want to see the dashboard. So this language is being used somewhere in the dashboard, which is dynamically updating the language of the dashboard. So to add it, you can add the variables from here. You can remove it from here. So variable can contain text, formulas, and it has a very advanced feature. There are a lot of things. I mean, definitely cannot be covered in just 1 hour. So it's a very advanced topic about what it can do for your Qlikview applications. So apart from the the scripting, the data model, and the variable overview window, uh, let's see the different types of chartings and metrics which is available. By right clicking over here, go to new sheet object and go to chart. So apart from chart, all of these are different components. List box is basically nothing but filter. Statistics box produce statistics, so on and so forth. I mean, some of them are pretty much self-explanatory, like button or text object. By just reading, you can understand what they do. But the important part comes when you are configuring it. So let's move on to our topic of interest, which is chart. So in this chart, you have different kinds of chart, whether it is a bar chart or a spider chart or this block chart. All of these different kinds of visualization available to you. All of these, apart from these standard visualization, you also have at the end pivot table, which is very much used in different kinds of reports to do the analysis. And then you have the straight table. It's again used in conjunction with your other visualization to show other relevant data, like top 10 sales or top 10 movies and stuff like this. So all of these different visualizations are present to produce a dashboards and your reports. And the important part is to understand their properties. You have n number of different properties. I will just explain one component property to you, and then you can understand what you can really do with Qlikview with these components. So apart from the charts window which I showed you, I have just one quick Qlikview document for data visualization. So in this data visualization, it shows the different kinds of bar chart which you can have, whether a vertical or a horizontal or a stack bar chart, various units kind of a chart. It's again a bar chart, but in a different format. That's a kind of a combo chart, bar chart with a line chart, and then again another complex one which you're having the multiple bars with a line chart. Apart from that, this is what a line chart is for the data values which is distributed over a period of time. Spider chart, and you can actually view this once you download or install the Qlikview application. These are all the demo application which comes, and you can actually go through each of these and see the different types of visualizations which is available to you. But this is just to show you what different types of visualization is and how it looks like. So let's just see the different properties of any of this chart. Maybe the line chart, which everybody understand very well. I'll just right click on this, go to properties, and we'll go very quickly one by one. So general is nothing but it is a similar screen which we just saw a couple of minutes back about selecting the different type of chart. Then you need to specify its dimension. What are the different dimensions which you want to see by on the x-axis? Like here it is presented as month and year. Then you have dimension limit. So there you can restrict the data first, largest or top 10 values, smallest top 10 smallest 10 values, all of these different things based on the month or the year dimensions that you have specified. Then you have expressions. What expressions? As I said, it is very much similar to your Excel. You just need to specify sum and then the relevant expression into the expression window. And you can have multiple expression. You can group the expression. That's again an advanced feature to show multiple expression in just one chart and one expression at a time. And then you have all these different kind of feature, whether you want accumulation or you want to accumulate 10 step back, which is nothing but a uh, rolling sum of from past 10 periods. You can have different types of trend lines and all. So all of these features which is available to you. The sorting, how you want to do the sorting, styling, how you want the style, it's available to you. Presentation, what kind of line width you have, symbol, if you have any kind of symbol like this, you have square or I think a circle, I'm not wrong. What kind of bar distance in case of a bar chart, you want to show the legend or not. You want to have any kind of reference line. So sometimes you want to have an average, like over here you are saying okay 3 is an average, so you can specify a line like this 3, and you can see okay most of the time my values are above average, so that means that is good, the sales is really going good. So apart from that, if you have anything like you want to specify in chart like a text or something, you can click over here and specify any kind of information that you want to provide to your end user. And it has a couple of other features like here related to axis. It has given the properties, what kind of colors you need to use, number formatting, what kind of format you want, all of this different kind of formatting you can have. Font, what kind of font you need, size and all, which is similar to other layout. Different types of layout, you want to conditionally show the chart or not, that you can specify. You want to allow movement or size of the chart to your end user, you can specify over here. If you don't, just uncheck that. So all of these different kind of options are available. And finally, how you want the look and feel of your charts caption, whether you want to show any kind of menu on the chart, like sending data to Excel and stuff like that. What should be the position and help text and any kind of information. So the properties which I told are major properties, and it is something which is available in each and every chart. So I think that is what I wanted to show you. The first of all, the different kind of components and the charts which is available, and then its properties. Finally, I think it is a time to take some questions. I will just mute myself for a moment. All right. So the question is how to implement self-security into Qlikview dashboard. Amit Khotikar has asked the question. Amit, I have not fully understand, but if I am right, you are asking how we can have a question, how we can have a security on the field. If that is the question, yes, you can have security on a field and its field values, and then you can specify. For example, if you have sales data for different geographies like India, USA, and UK. And if you want only if India users are logging into the dashboard and they are only able to see the dashboard, yes, you can specify it. For this, you need to write a script, which is a lengthy topic, but ability is there to write that script, kind of a script. What are the prerequisites to access Qlikview dashboards, mobile or iPad? The main thing is this, that the Qlikview provides a components or its features on the Qlikview server. Those features need to be enabled for Qlikview dashboards or documents to be there on the mobile or iPad or iPhone. And apart from that, the important thing is this: you have to know uh, the way you need to show the visualization on the on your bar on your sheets, because the space is very less into the mobiles and all. Therefore, the information that you are providing should has to be very concise. But it's the Qlikview server which does all the magic for seeing the values on mobile or on or iPad or stuff like that. What is the difference between QuickSense and Qlikview? Amit has asked this question again. QuickSense and Qlikview. So I would say QuickSense is the next generation, and that's what QlikTech has marketed itself for QuickSense. It provides much more better visualization when you are comparing it again with the Qlikview. And I think that strategy is something to take over with the Tableau as a tool, which I think somebody has asked the question that Tableau has a very nice features of doing the visualization. Yes, I have given the answer yes, and that's why Qlikview has come up with this QlikSense, which is very similar to Qlikview. It has similar kind of scripting and similar kind of capabilities. Only thing which I have not seen in QuickSense is something related to security and something related to the multi-layer application when the data size becomes huge and we do all of that kind of development. That's where I have not seen the QuickSense is very effective. So that's the major difference. I will take next question, which is how we can give input to sheet. Any varchar value integer, you can give any kind. I have shown you into the variable that in variable you can have whether text or whether integer value, or even it accepts the formula which finally translates into some kind of value. But yes, you can provide whether it is a character or as an integer. All right, so the next question Anisha is asking, if we want to design an interactive dashboard and share it to a number of users, should the users have the Qlikview software installed in the system, like just in case of Tableau, or do we have something like Tableau server? Yes, you need to have a Qlikview server. For that, installation of Qlikview is not required. It will be a web link which will be shared to your users, and they can see it via the web interface. What are the job opportunities? Sheikh Ibrahim is asking this question. I have shown you in two different slides. Job opportunities are really bright, but the main thing is this, that Qlikview is coming up with a lot of flavors, like it has data integration and data massaging by doing the ETL and that stuff. It has presentation layer, and it has finally the output layer into the different kind of components. So the main thing is, the main opportunities that you have is either with Qlikview Designer or a Qlikview Developer, whereas Qlikview Developer is a combination of designer and development part. And opportunities are bright. I've shown you 400 plus opportunities are there in the major cities or the metros. And I think it's a bright market which is coming up with more jobs day by day. That's my 2 cents on that. Okay, Debata has asked this question: is there some industry recognized certification to become a Qlikview professional? Yes, there is a Qlikview developer certification and a Qlikview designer certification, and there is a Qlikview administrator certification. Yeah, there is, and definitely you can take that certifications. It is very much broad in terms of your data analysis skills, your ETL, and your modeling skills that you have acquired uh, by going through your experience in Qlikview development. All right, take the next question, where we will use QVW, QVG, and QVX type of extension in Qlikview. So this will be used in the scripting section. So Sumant has asked this question, by the way. And as I mentioned, it will be used in scripting because QVD is a Qlikview data format. QVW can also be an input for another QVW file, which is called binary load. And QVX is a custom component via which you can actually import the data. So it's the nutshell answer is it's the scripting section. How can we get back the data which is stored in QVD file? Harish has asked this question. So there are multiple ways. After you load the data into the QVD, you can again load it back into Qlikview and view the data. After loading the data into Qlikview, you can export the data into Excel or CSV file. So in this way, you can have this data back from QVD file. How much volume of data Qlikview with SLA of 30-second max? That depends on the things like whether you are fetching the data from Excel, whether you are fetching the data from database, or whether you're fetching the data from QVT or a Qlikview data file. If you are fetching the data from QVT file, the data volume that you can fetch within 30 seconds is somewhere around 100 MB or so, even I think more than that, but I'm just giving a rough idea. In case of a database, you can fetch data somewhere around 50 to 80 MB if you have the good connection with the server. Third thing is again with the Excel. Excel cannot or sometimes crash more than 10 or 20 MB of data. If that is the case, 10 or 20 MB is something which you can achieve. I would not say 30 seconds, but probably somewhere around 60 seconds or 1 minute 10 seconds at the max. Next question is pricing of Qlikview. It's again regions to region, but Qlikview is pretty expensive software, to be honest, and its licensing is also it's also high. But you may need to visit to Qlikview website. I don't have a readily answer for this because it is different for each region. How much volume of data Qlikview can handle? Okay, I have covered that. I think it is again asking me this question. How can a created report be shared, used, published for global users by multiple users? So that can be, you can produce a PDF report. You can get the publish the report on server and share it with users and send the link to the all users. Also, Qlikview server has a capability that whenever you are publishing the dashboard, it sends a notification to users that a new dashboard is being published. If that is on, then your users are notified and they can actually see that. All right. So the last question was asked by Pranjal. I heard that it is not possible to open dashboard developed in another Qlikview personal edition. Is it right? Amit has asked this question. Yes and no. Why yes? You cannot open after a certain numbers of Qlikview document you have opened. So yes, you can open the another user's Qlikview document in personal edition, but I think the restriction is somewhere around the 4 to 5 document at the max which you can open for a different user. So yes, you can open it, but no, you cannot open it because if you have reached the threshold. How to get the deleted data from QBD file when the file is reloaded? I don't understand this question. How to get the deleted data from QBD file when the file is reloaded? No, I think you need to explain, Harish, this question to me. What is the difference between a named cal license and document license? So named cal license is given to the developers. Document license is given to the viewers of the document who are actually the end users. Can we use Cube data as a source system? Yes, you can connect SSAS, which is I think SQL Server Analysis Service, where you produce cubes. That's one of the system to which you can connect and get the data. As a business, why I go with Qlikview rather than Oracle BI or BOSAP? The first thing is obviously the kind of business discovery features which it provides, and so things like which is not there in SAP Business Object. I use SAP Business Object for even for my own data sources, but it does not have the kind of capability where you are just selecting suppose one field and you want to know what are the values which is related to the selection and even the values which is not related to the selection. That kind of capability is not there, but that is something which is available in Qlikview, and that's why it gives a two-way perspective to end user. Say for example, if I'm selecting a sales employee of a particular region, then I can know what products it is selling and what product it is not selling. So if I'm curious why it is not selling, that raises a question, and that gives me a perspective. Okay, I may need to reach out to the business to the sales user and figure it out. So that kind of functionality in a nutshell is missing. Can you explain briefly about synthetic keys? Harish has asked this question. Yeah, in brief, I can explain. This is something like when you have uh, two or multiple tables in your script, and both these tables or multiple tables have one or more similar column names, then Qlikview system creates synthetic keys. Sometimes you are creating synthetic keys for your own purpose, but generally it is not useful because it creates a redundancy or a duplication into the data. How to remove the keys in data modeling? There are multiple ways. You can do concatenation. You can rename those fields. It depends on again requirement to requirement. But yeah, there are multiple ways. What features are there in document cal license? Amit has asked this question. Document cal license has a features like you can view the document if you have the access to the dashboard, and apart from that, you can create the metric on the fly on the web page itself and share your observations from other users also. That's the kind of a feature that you get with a document cal license at a very high level, if I can explain. All right, these are all the questions I have. I hope so there is another question. Let me just quickly run this one last question. Can we schedule report based on Qlikview? You cannot schedule a report based on Qlikview, but in Qlikview, but in the server or the publisher, where it provides you the the report scheduling, so that your reports are scheduled to fetch the data or to be distributed to your users. So not in but in Qlikview server. So Qlikview client is the client machine or a developer machine that we have. Qlikview server is a platform through which you publish or you schedule your reports. I hope that answers your question. All right. I think with that, I would say thank you to all of you. I hope I am able to provide you some perspective of Qlikview, and uh, I hope I will be able to meet you in the class, and you have a good day ahead. I would say good night. And after this webinar, you will be finding a page for giving the feedback. I appreciate if you can give the feedback. That will help us to improve ourselves and give more and more better webinar and training to you guys. Thank you so much for your time today, and good night.